Dr. Chooi is a specialist, and he is very symbolic to our Hong Kong market because I think he's the first medical doctor in Hong Kong that's practicing in Amway and achieved Pro Direct Distributor. So let's give your big hand to Dr. Chooi. I like Thai. Okay, because I travel to Bangkok many times. I love Thai food because
elephants.
I love elephants. I love Tom Yum Gong, Gong Pao, Gu Pao. Okay, all the food I like is the Thai food very much. I visit Thai restaurants almost 2 to 3 times a month in Hong Kong. Well, it's my honor to share here in front of you. I'm so excited because it is my first time to share Amway in English. I've presented so many medical seminars in English, but it's the first time to share in English at Amway. So thanks, Bobby. January, I have the first time I met him in January. Well, I was so inspired by his speech, and all my partners fired up by him. So I have to say thank you to Bobby. Give a big hand to you. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Chooi Kit. People call me Dr. Chooi because I'm a doctor. I'm a pediatric doctor. I take care of kids. And yesterday, I think all of you have been the meeting last night, right?
Yes.
One of the young men standing on the middle of the stage, give a sharing, also wear a grey suit, is my father. Show his picture, please. Okay, the man. I'm actually a second generation of Amway. My father is a diamond, but he joined Amway over 30 years ago, and this is my father. We've visited the Tropic and Neutralite farm together. Okay, you remember him? Okay, so let's start the story from my dad, because this is very related. Well, my father joined Amway in 1981 September. I was born in the world 1981 September, same month. Actually, I checked the sign-up date on my dad. It's just 2 days after my birthday. He joined Amway, so I was born in an Amway family. Okay, so I think is there anyone is also a second generation apart from Ronald? No. Oh, there's a second generation. So as a second generation, it's rather interesting because when I got the memory, all the products at my home, only one brand. From my head to toe, from the floor to the ceiling, and also from inside to outside, all are Amway. My blood is Amway because I'm taking Neutralite since 1 year old. And you know, my feeling about Amway is Amway. No feeling at all. The products are good or not, I don't know, because I don't have any comparison. I haven't tried on the bad products, so I don't know how good every product is. That's why I think Amway products is just so. Because I haven't tried on any other kind of products. So in my childhood, because all the stuff are from Amway, even a plastic bag at home from Amway. When I had to carry something to the school, I carry the Amway bag, the plastic bag. And my classmate will say, "Oh, is Amway company owned by your parents?" If that's the case, I'll be very rich. But my feeling towards Amway is just I'm not interested in the business model because, just like Bobby said, Amway is an anti-business. In my childhood, I think I can see a lot of aunties surrounding my parents. First of all, I don't want to be. I have no chance to be an auntie. I'm a boy. Okay, obviously I'm a boy. So and I'm not that interested to deal with aunties. So I don't have any interest in the Amway business. But later on, when I think about 8 to maybe 10 years old, my mother suddenly jumped to me and tell me that, oh, hey son, Amway is related to you. Then I just hesitate and said, what, how does Amway relate to me? I think it's nothing to do with me. I'm just using the products. She just told me that, well, and we will pass the Amway business to you later on. Then I asked them, well, what is the rationale behind? He told me directly, oh, when I and your daddy pass away, the Amway business will pass to you and your brother. Then I suddenly feel very happy because they tell me that, oh, they will have something left over to me. Then I think, wow, it's a good business. However, my excitement only lasts for a few minutes. First of all, I'll think about that. If I have to receive their business, first of all, I have to treat them well. That is not difficult. I have to treat them well. But because if I treat them badly, they will pass the business to my brother. I've got one brother. Okay? First of all, they have choices. So I have to be a good son. Okay? This is the first prerequisite. Okay. The second point is, I don't feel the excitement because if I have to get their business, I have to wait a long time. As I was born when they were in their 30s. So if they have a life expectancy to 100 years of age, then I have to wait until 70 years of age. Wow, I'm an elderly at the time. So I think it's nothing to do with me about the Amway business. So I just study well and then go to the university and enter the medical school. Well, actually I get to know about Amway during my third year of university. Suddenly I got a chance to fully understand the Amway business. So by that time I was at the age of, I think, 22 years of age. And then I suddenly realized, oh, actually Amway business is different from what I thought in the past. Well, for the OPPs, the marketing plan, I think I have listened maybe over 100 times before that. Because I attend meetings when I was at the age of 7 to 6. So I have listened to the OPP, the product demonstration for so many times. Actually, I think I understand the business, but the case is not true. So when I try to understand the Amway business, I found out that the values are so attractive. For me, I work as a pediatric doctor. In the past, I worked at a public hospital. In Hong Kong, the working system is rather strange because the doctors working in a government hospital, they have to work for 36 hours continuously for shift. Okay, so for 36 hours, right? 1.5 days. Okay, so this kind of rotation, this kind of rosters, we have to the shift is maybe once a week or maybe twice a week or sometimes 3 times a week. Okay, so it's really tiring and not really healthy lifestyle. That's why I would think after I've listened to the Amway business, I'll find that the time freedom is so attractive, and that's because you know that the doctors the paying system is when you have to see patients and then you get the pay. But if you don't see patients, you have no money. Okay, so that's we have to trade time with money. So that's why I think that the Amway, the values, the time freedom is so attractive. And later on, just now I have changed my job. I don't need to go to have such kind of shift after changing my job. Now I'm now working at a private hospital. So even though I haven't I have not need to work like this over 36 hours a shift, but I don't have any freedom at all, because for today, Saturday, I need to go to work. Tomorrow, Sunday, I need to go to work. For all the holidays, it's nothing to do with me, because I do have to go to the hospital. I still cannot enjoy the freedom. And but people will ask why, especially in Hong Kong, professionals can earn huge money. I must say, in my hospital, there is a very experienced senior doctor who is a surgeon. And I actually, when I come across to him, I very admire him, because he usually treat patients for free most of the time. Well, I think so he's very meaningful. He can help a lot of people, right? But when I just look around, I look at his car. He's driving Ferrari. That's why, because he has accumulated his money, his assets until the age of 70s, and then he can enjoy what he would like to do, the freedom. Okay, but I would say that's, for me, actually I don't like to work for money, but I have to work for money now. Amway business is a tool for us to shorten the time for us to work for money, because when we have to just build up the business for a couple of years, and then we can enjoy the freedom. And for me, my goal is to just like the senior doctors. If I can build up the business successfully, I think I can also treat the patient for free at the age of maybe 40. And it'll be much more interesting. Actually, I don't want to work for money for doctors, the job. But at this moment, I still have to. But with the Amway business, I can have a change. I have a difference. So during actually, I have joined Amway since 2003, and from yesterday sharing, you can see that Bobby has built up the Amway business less than 10 years, but with a huge network. For me, actually, I'm not doing Amway business in a very fast manner, because I have something to share with you, is that actually in the first few years, I'm not doing the business very seriously. For the first 4 years, I'm just attend meetings, and in the end of month, I will just try to do some Amway business. But for the rest of the time, I will play around, go to karaoke, and maybe going to hang out with my girlfriends. Actually, not very seriously. So not before I just after the 4 years of time, after using 4 years, I started to realize that I'm wasting my time. So after I got such inspiration from myself, I start to make a decision that I have to be successful in the Amway business. Otherwise, I'm wasting all my time. That's why at the 5th year of my Amway business, I got a breakthrough. I become a Founders Platinum, and then go to the travel seminar. And then over the past few years, I think learning is so important. Although my parents are diamond in Amway, I still have to learn. Just like for those professors in the university, their son still have to go to school, right? So I think learning is very, very important. And during the learning process, I think and we got a good system that we can learn how to do the Amway business in a very fine detail way. So I do encourage all the people, do focus on learning, because for me, I think it's so important. And with learning, and with you make the decision, and you just keep doing the simple things. Amway is just very simple, just sharing products, sharing a plan, and sharing your dreams. Then every people will follow you. So I would say the Hong Kong market is still not yet established, although it's 40 years. Just like in Thailand, it's how many years in Thailand? 36 years. It's still a young market. Amway business is actually it's an evergreen business. And I just now we in Hong Kong there's public exams is just over. There are lots of young people looking for opportunities. So this is our time. So I think, I hope every one of us will treasure these good opportunities. And I'd like to share with you that this month I will also change a pin. I will be a sapphire in this month, and I will try diamond next year.
Why are we having him on the list for today? Because he didn't mention a very important part, because when he is still working in the government hospital, he worked for 36 hours consecutively, and he still managed to become a founder's platinum. That limit of time. So you know that in Hong Kong has the longest working hour, I think, maybe in Asia and in the world. One of the longest working hour city, most busiest cities in the world. So if someone tell you, I'm too busy to develop my business, you share with him Dr. Choi's story, okay? Okay. Oh, that is the role model. Okay, give the big hand again to Dr. Choi, please. Okay. And our next sharer, his working hour is not less than Dr. Choy, because he's a lawyer. He always comes to our training course at around 9 p.m. and after 10 p.m. when he has followed up all his downline, he go back to work till 2 a.m. He's always like that, okay, because he's a professional lawyer. So why he joined Amway and why he becomes so successful in Amway? Welcome our Emerald Direct Distributor, Chooi.
I should go back to Thailand more. Sawadee krap.คนไทยนะ Macha. Okay. Are you bored? No! I'm sorry for you because I'm a lawyer. I will make you bored. So originally, Enosh gave me 5 minutes to do this presentation. I think all of you deserve a lot more time than that. Yeah! So let me try to do this. So let me start from when I was 4 months old. I was very active, and at 4 months old, I fell off the bed and hit my head. If I didn't do that, I might have been a diamond now. And all through my life, I've been very, very active, very aggressive in pursuing my own goals. You might not see it from my face. I wanted to accelerate life. I wanted to get all the good things as soon as possible. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do all the good things, do what they want as soon as possible, preferably before they get some white hair?
Yeah.
No hair.
So in primary school, I skipped 1 grade. In secondary school, I skipped another grade. And then I went to the University of Hong Kong at the age of 16. Don't ask me how I did that. That was crazy. Don't ask me to do that again. And then I did 1 year of computer science. Discovered that computer science, I can do that myself in my spare time. So I was changed to law. Law is much easier. Right? Some lawyers here. And after I graduated, I went to one of the top US law firms in Hong Kong.
Can you tell the company?
No, I can't. When you have an IPO, you can talk to me though. Yeah. So, in year 2 of my university, I met a lady, a girl, in my English class. She happened to be from Shanghai. So, I didn't want to do my internships in Hong Kong. So, I stepped over to Shanghai to do some internships. I taught English at English First. And I went over to her home, stayed over, because, you know, it's cheaper that way. Oh, yeah. And that is where my Amway story begins. Her parents, from Monday to Wednesday, they take me out, they drive, right? They drive, take me out, full day. Then I was very confused because my parents work. They work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Normal working professionals. But her parents, they can take me full day trips, right? All along. And I asked them, so what do you do for a living? How come you have so much spare time? And they lived in a big house. They have a nice car. Their house has a staircase. Well, mine doesn't. I asked them, so what do you do? And they said, we do Amway. And then I thought, okay, maybe Amway's a good thing. Right? I didn't ask too much. Then we went home, and then they did a product demonstration. Then I realized, oh, LOC is very good. Made in the USA. And that's it. So I had an impression that Amway is a good company. Then one day, by accident, I was alone at home, and they went out. I needed to drink some water. And I opened the tap, boiled the water, and drank it. Big mistake. Don't do that in China. The water tastes like swimming pool water. With a little bit of iron rust.
Oh,
it's like a good wine. Then I thought, what is this? Then they came home and then they told me, we normally drink bottled water. And then I thought, okay, there's something seriously wrong with this. So I went back to Hong Kong and I looked for a water filter. Who here has been looking for a good water filter? You don't need to look for one anymore. So I went to various Sogo, big department stores, online. Then I figured, oh, Amway Hong Kong sells e-springs. So I went to Facebook. And then I found a group called Friends of Amway. It was a Hong Kong group. So I asked the group manager whether the e-spring was any good. Okay, so this is when patience becomes very important. Patience is so very important. What if a client asks one of you for one day whether the e-spring is any good and keeps bombarding you with questions for one day and doesn't buy? What do you do? Then he comes again for the second day and does it again. Third day, I did this for 3 months. I asked Bong 3 months of questions on MSN. I asked him what's wrong with Hong Kong water. I asked him what can the e-spring do. I asked him what's the power intensity of the UV light inside the e-spring. And so Amway service is very good. He answered all the questions, delivered e-spring units, set it up for me, set it up for my girlfriend. I bought 2 e-spring units, and I bought an Atmosphere first generation as well. I asked him why the Atmosphere first generation was so ugly. He couldn't tell me. And a few months later, the second generation came out. I bought the one too. All without becoming an IBO.
Oh, custom.
VIP, no discount. That was pretty stupid. I could have been at 12% already. And then I took these high-tech products back to my girlfriend. And my girlfriend's parents were doing Amway, okay? She didn't know these products were from Amway because at that time Amway China didn't have an e-spring, didn't have an Atmosphere. And she asked me, why are you wasting all this space with these big things? We don't need these. I'm usually not at home, right? She used to be an investment banker. I'm a lawyer. We're not at home. We drink water twice a day, one in the morning, one at night when I come back, if we come back. So she asked me, what's all this for? And 1 year later, when we replaced the e-spring cartridge, we understand. why we need the e-spring. And that's what we all wait for our clients. 1 year later, they will love you very much. And all through this time, Bong invited us to PDCs here. It was my first time to Yamate. I lived in Hong Kong. My first time to Yamate. Who comes here normally anyway? And I started to understand more of the Amway business. The first time he tried to do an OPP to me, I couldn't understand anything. The second day, I forgot everything. I practically almost forgot his name. And then, yeah, a lot of people do that. You tell them the OPP once, they reject you. Next day, you ask them, remember the OPP? They don't remember. All right, so what you do is not very important. You have to do it again and again. Make sure that they understand what you are doing. And so his follow-up, Quintina's follow-up, we took us to various artistry big events, some big events in the Wan Chai conference center, some big events here. Eventually, we sort of understood it. And it was until the time of the 2008, what's that, Lehman Brothers crash, that we finally began to understand that, something can happen to us. Our 2 million Hong Kong dollar income per year can go away. And so we started looking at the Amway business more seriously. And we started 4 years ago. 3 years afterwards, we became Emerald Direct Distributors. And all these achievements need hard work. We've worked hard all our lives. Secondary school, primary school, university, we work hard, get the best marks, we work hard to get the internships, interviews. For what? To get a good life afterwards. That's the promise, right? But has the promise been fulfilled? A good life afterwards. That's what our parents enjoyed. They came out of university, top of the class. You come out of university 40 years ago, of course you get a job. Right? Of course your life is okay. But now you come out of university, 99% of the people in Hong Kong are come out of university. And then you compete with them. And our values tend to decline. And so what is the model now that can give us a good life at the same time, give us a realistic risk-return exchange? And Amway is one of them. Imagine you have a lot of shares, a lot of stock, right? And you collect dividends, right? How much stock do you need to have $5,000 Hong Kong dollars of dividends a month? Unaffordable. Right? But Bobby does that. We do that. Everyone here who's applying them understands passive income. You can imagine how much asset you have, right, in the Amway network. So that's one. And also learning is very important. Me and my wife, we used to work from, get up at 8 a.m., go back 9:30, 9, and then we work until God knows when, really. Sometimes it's 12 a.m. if it's early, midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., right? That's a normal time to get off work. So what do we have time to do Amway? When do we have time to do Amway? We don't have time to do Amway. No professional in Hong Kong has time to do Amway, right? But because we have a team, because we have a dream, culture is very important, right? The team can help each other, but our dream is the most important thing. We need to tell our uplines we want something more than what we have now, and then they will help us towards that goal. But first thing, of course, you need to have that desire, and you need to communicate that desire to your upline. When was the last time you spoke to your upline? Every day, I hope. And I should say, yes, 7 o'clock, we tell our boss, okay, I have a little, what do we call this, management course that we need to take. So 7:30 we arrive here, we skip dinner, or we have a protein meal bar, and then we go 8:30, 9:30, 1 hour follow-up, and then we take a taxi back to the company and continue working. And we work 1 hour, 2 hours longer than our colleagues, and then we go back home. Right? And then we make all the phone calls, make sure all the logistics are done for the next day, then we get to sleep, and we do it again next day. Right? So 1 year, 2 years, 1 year, DD 2 years, and then 3 years Emerald, and then we're gonna make Diamond in a few months' time. A little personality secret I can tell you because my wife isn't here. I've spoken so long because my wife isn't here. I was brought up early age by my grandparents, by my grandpa. My grandpa was a little bit hard of hearing. He worked in the airport as a radio operator, so he couldn't really hear what anyone was saying. So when I cried, no one would notice. Right? When I cried, no one would notice. So I quickly shut up. Right? Why waste energy? So a few years of this, and then it sort of became ingrained into my memory that communication was useless. Right? I had to do everything on my own. Right? So I became very low-key, very quiet. I didn't speak to my classmates. I didn't speak to the teacher. The teachers thought I had a communication problem. They called my parents. My parents told the teacher that he's always been like this, but his grades are okay. So I went through primary school, secondary school, all on my own. And it was until Amway that I started to change. When I started to realize that communication was very important, right? It's not something you're born with, but it's something you grow up with. If you grow up unable to communicate or without an environment to communicate in, like my grandpa, then you sort of shut up forever. But then you come out to this environment where everyone's happy, everyone's trying to make friends with you, and everyone has a positive mental attitude. And then you sort of open up again. And this is when you start to find your second self.
Wow.
Right? And you start to make friends, you start to make more friends outside this circle. That's where your prospects come from. And you go back to university, give speeches on how you should have your own dream, because people will not give you your dream. You work for people's dreams. People will not work for yours. And so the university, Mahai Wittayalai Hong Kong, invites me every year to give the same speech, to tell the freshmen to hang on to their own dreams and try to do something on their own. But they don't know it's going to be Amway. I catch them 3 years later, hopefully they still have their dreams. So today, we choose to do something that others are not willing to do. And tomorrow, we can live the lives that others cannot choose to live. I've heard several of that through the Crown Ambassadors who speak on a stage every year. And I think that's true. We come into Amway, we understand how it works, we understand that we're going to put 4 years, 5 years, 6 years of the best of our lives into this business. But we know for the next 40, 50, 60 years, it's going to take our lives ahead. It's going to be able to take my children ahead. They don't need to think about money like I need to think about money. They just need to think about, what can I do best? How can I bring value to this world? And they don't need to think about how to rent this house, how to buy this car, how to pay for education fees, how to pay for piano classes, cello classes, whatever they want. And that's part of my dream. My dream is not only to help my kids to have that kind of future, but also to help fellow Hong Kong people or fellow Thai people. To be able to have that dream and to be able to pursue that dream and not forget it just because they need to work for money.